Hi everybody. Today we're going to see how I draw flare. Okay, I'm going to start off with a quick sketch for myself and then I'll switch over to Sharpie. So don't worry if you can't see this. This is mostly, well, this is all for me. And then I'll switch over to Sharpie and you'll be able to join along in a bit. So don't worry about it. I know some people say, I can't see. Well, I know that. But you will soon, don't worry. It's gonna work out. Everything's gonna be awesome. Okay, so I'm mostly trying to think of a good pose before I really start to give you guys stuff to draw. So once I do that, we'll switch and you'll have some fun. But for now, I'm just sketching. And that's really all I do, is just kind of play around with the look and the style and find what works best, you know? I think I'm going to have him in kind of an action pose. Let's see. And he's got his shirt kind of out. And I have this leg up. So that means this one's coming in. Then I gotta draw those crazy kooky leg binding things he has. And it's gotta fit with his leg. So I think that looks pretty good. This one, I'm gonna kind of throw it out there. I'm kind of giving it like an action pose feel too. That, because he's got these things that are hanging off. I don't know what they are. They look like some kind of, I don't know what they are, really. Honestly, I couldn't even tell you what they make me think of, because they don't make me think of much of anything that I can describe. You know, they're just these pieces of material, sticks, I don't know what they are. They look kind of like plastic hanging down. So I think of them as just something that I can put in kind of a crazy position to show movement, you know. So let's see. I think I'm going to do something like this. Something like that. Point the toe down. Straight down. Yeah. And so when you're drawing stuff like this in different positions, you know, than what you're used to, sometimes it looks odd and it doesn't look right. So like that's not the way it's supposed to be, but you got to remember that you're looking at it from a different angle now, you know? So it might look a little different than what you're used to. So it's okay. So there. Okay, so I got him kind of not really jumping, but kind of flying, kind of, I don't know, kind of an action pose, you know? Something like that. And so now I can do the top of him this way. And I think, yeah, I'll kind of do the jacket back like that. Not the jacket, the hood. Kind of flying up like that. Right? Yeah, I like that. I like that. So, let's see. So that means the jacket will be like this. Right? There we go. And his shirt will be here. His neck will be up here. And this can be his head. With his whippy, crazy hair. And let's see, so that means his shoulder, let's see, his jacket's kind of pushed up, right? Something like that. And because I have his body in a weird position, I gotta remember that when I'm drawing his arms, like where's his where his arms in relation to his shoulders. You know, how high up, where are his elbows, you know, that kind of thing. That's what I gotta try to remember. Where are the elbows, where's his body, and what's he doing? So I kind of like, ooh, I wasn't really expecting that, but I kind of like that. I kind of have his hand, let's see, kind of out like that, you know? And kind of almost like palms up facing you, you know? But that also means I'm going to have his fingers curled over like this. But not these. I think this is where it's going to get tricky, because I think I told you before that if you don't, when you're drawing, sometimes it looks a little different than real life, you know? Because I can show you this and it looks fine, but if I try to draw that, like this pointed in and this straight at you, looks weird when you draw it, you know? So you kind of have to find that happy medium of, okay, I think I can make it work like this if I bend it like this, you know? So that was way too big, so I'm going to try to shrink it down just a little bit. It was a good position. I loved it. It came out fantastic, but it was too big. So see, yeah, something like that. I have his hand facing palm at you, and, you know, it might look a little weird. But let's do it. Let's try it. We just got to remember what digits are where, what's doing here, and what's doing there. Yeah, so that's not bad. I think I can pull this off. I think I might be able to do this. I just got to remember to teach you about the digits and what's bent where and why we're doing it. Alright? Okay. Let's do that. Yeah, it's going to be a little crazy. A little, ooh, you know what? Ooh, I just saw something else I was going to mess up right there. I had his fingers like that, but his thumb was out like that. His thumb needs to be at you like that. So again, going to look a little crazy, but we're going to do it. But it looks a little, he's doing this. I want him more out. So I think I'm going to put the thumb out more like that. Yeah, perfect. Perfect. That's exactly what I was going for. So let's see if I can pull this off now. Okay, so that's one hand. Woo, one hand down. So let's draw his sleeve. The little thing out like that. And let's see, it's a little bulbous, a little big. But his jacket's going to be in the way too, so only so much of it we can draw. Alright, so let's draw the other one now. So for this hand, how about we, let's see, let's do, because I kind of like the power, you know, how he's got like glowing finger power, I guess. I don't know how to really describe it. You know, the glowing version, you know, I kind of like that. So I'm trying to come up with something that looks good with it, you know, that kind of represents that. Okay, and I think again, see, I start getting too big. That's the problem. Because that was starting to work out, but it was getting too big. So I'm gonna have to make the hand smaller real fast. Okay, there's one digit, two, and then the pinky like that. Okay, another one, up, like that. Okay, let's do another one, like that. And then the other fingers back behind those. Okay, so yeah, I think we can do that. That will work out for that hand. Okay, So, I'm going to try to catch up with the rest of the look. Like that. Okay, I think that will work for his hands. I like that. That's making me happy. Okay, so let's draw some facial features. Okay, like that. I'm a little angry there. Okay. Okay, let's do open mouth. I don't think I've done an open mouth. This will be the first one. Thicken up his neck a little bit. Let's see. Yeah, okay. And so now let's just give him a brow line. And not quite that much. I had his hair kind of big. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm happy with this. I'm really happy with the sketch. Now, let's see if we can get there with the ink. So I'm going to try to erase some of this just to let the ink stand out more whenever we ink it in, because the pencil lines will show up, you know. Okay, I think I'm ready to switch over. Yeah, let's switch over to Sharpies now. And I'm going to be using a Sharpie fine point and a Sharpie pen. I'm going to start off with the Sharpie pen just to control some of these lines a little bit easier. I can control the thickness with this much easier than the other one. So for the fine details like the face real fast, let's use this. So I'm going to start off with the top of the eyelid, so to speak, just to make sure I got it where I want it. If the head is perfectly horizontal, or you know what I'm trying to say. So now I'm going to add some pupils. A little bit big. I didn't mean to go that big, so I'm going to add the center, and then see what I can do about the rest of his eye. And again, I don't want to go underneath, because just for mine, because it's going to bleed so much and I'm going to lose so much, so I can't quite do that. So I'm just going to give him some eyebrows, and he's got thick eyebrows, so I'm going to take advantage of that. Okay, so I'm going to give him just a little bit of a nose bridge, and then some nostrils, and the nose like that. And that's all I want to do. I don't want to go too much, because again, I'll lose some here with this color, with this Sharpie. So I'm going to try to add a little bit more like that, just because it's lacking. It needs something, you know. So now let's go ahead and draw. I'm drawing the mouth open like that. And I'm going to go ahead with the Sharpie and draw just a little bit of a top lip with the Sharpie. You know? And there's a bottom. I'm going to leave it like that. And I kind of must think I want to color this in, just because. There. That's what I'm going to do. Because it's hard to show. It looks almost like teeth. You know what I mean? So you got to kind of play around and figure out how to do that right with Sharpies. And it's so hard to do with Sharpies, but we're doing it, and I'm very proud of you for following along. Or if you're using pencil, I'm proud of you for just following along, period. Okay, so let's draw his chin right about there, about in the middle. Then I'm going to give him a strong jawline, up like this. Just because his character has it. We don't all have a strong jawline like that, but these characters do. So I'm going to bring it back and add it to it. Okay, then I'm going to come up here where the ear is. That was a little too strong. So I'm going to add the ear like that. And his hairline is going to come in here. We'll go ahead and draw that since we're here. And I'm going to draw his other ear over here like this. And I'm going to thicken it up just a hair, because the big Sharpie is going to start to be used in a second. And it's going to look odd to me if I don't thicken it up and make it all cohesive. If you're using pencil, you don't have to worry about that. But I like to make it a little bit matching with what I'm about to do. And I know what I'm about to do. That's why I'm preparing for it. Okay, so let's draw his hair. Gonna go ahead and draw like a little, bring it in right there a little bit for like a little bit of a part in the hair. And so now, let's see. I'm basically just gonna draw, well, I thought so, but the Sharpie's dying on me. Just some whippies, just to represent his, you know, his locks that he has just kind of whipping out. Now, if you're going to do the colored version, like the super bright, a lot of that's not going to matter because all that kind of gets lost with the color. But I thought I would add it just to, you know, have some fun. Try to bring some points in here, and so yeah, so see, I'm trying to make this a little thicker, and you'll see why in a second. All right, I like that. I'm going to go with that and move on to my big Sharpie now. Let's see what we can do here. So I'm going to go ahead and draw his jacket. That kind of is a big part of building off of that. So I'm going to start with, let's see, that's going to be his little rib edging of the jacket. And so now I can draw the rest of it like this. Okay, and go ahead and I'm going to bring the other end around over to it like this. And so now I have his hood kind of flying in the wind. So it's kind of doing something like this. See how it's kind of up, it's not really hanging down. And also, see how thick this is compared to that? That's what I'm talking about, that I was trying to thicken it up so it's not that line versus that line. You know, it all looks cohesive, like it's supposed to be there. There's your word of the day. Alright, so now let's build the rest of his jacket. So I'm going to do his shoulders to his arms like that. And his sleeves, because they're bunged up because of the way he's holding his arms, I have the lines very predominant like that. So I can draw the rest of his jacket up here like this. Draw that in like that. And that's what I was talking about, that little ribbing at the end, the little edging. Like that. So we'll do the same thing over here. Just kind of draw the shoulders to that line. And so let's go ahead and do this arm first. So I'm going to draw a few creases and folds, but not much because color is going to take care of that too. But I do have his arm up instead of hanging down, so I want the material bent, stretched, you know. And he's got like those straps that go over his arm. Well, not over his arm, but over his jacket, like that. And let's see, here's an end right there. And so now I can draw the rest of his sleeve, and I've got it kind of out, flared out just a little bit because of the way his arm is bent. And so now we're going to draw his forearm to his wrist, or his bicep to his forearm to his wrist. And I'm going to stop there because I'm going to do that in a second. I want to do the other side. Down to the elbow, to the forearm, to the wrist, like that. And I'll go ahead and draw a line like that just to show a bend, you know. And he's got gloves on, so we'll go ahead and just do a couple of little tiny lines like that. So now we're going to do his hand. And remember, I have it kind of like this, so you're going to have to bear with me here. So here's the meat of his hand, this part right here. And that's going to come to the thumb, which I have bent over like this. And that's going to come to the finger. So basically it looks like that. It's like this is kind of bent over, you know. You can't really see it on itself. So now, to draw the other fingers all bent over like this, I'm going to draw the digits. And what I mean by the digits are the pieces like that. There's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and you know, then it connects back here and all that stuff. So I'm going to kind of do one in the front. Too much of a point, but that's what I was going for, is one digit. One behind it like that, and then connect it. I'm going to do the same thing here. It's a little sketchy. A little jaggedy, but you know, you can't have jiggity without a jaggedy. Draw the other one back behind it like that. And these two fingers, I kind of have it like this. How these are more in, so I'm not drawing the front digit as much as I'm drawing it like this. Okay, so that means I can draw like that, and I'm gonna do the same thing with the pinky, like that. So see, they're kind of all curled in. Okay. So now I can draw that, and now I'm going to come back with this little Sharpie and just draw a couple of crease lines from where it's all stressed and closed, you know? So there, now you learned how to draw some fingers in a different position. And see, it looks kind of weird, but in the whole look to it, it looks like a hand is going like that, you know? If you were just to draw it like that alone, it's like, what is that? That's crazy. But when you look at the whole big picture, you're like, oh, I get it. His hand is bent over. Pretty cool, right? Sometimes you got to look at the big picture to get an idea of what the tiny one is, okay? So let's keep going. Let's draw the same thing over here. Let's do this arm. And I'm going to draw the same thing, the sleeve with a few creases like that. I'm going to draw that little strap thing that's hanging over. Like that. Again, his sleeve's out just a little bit. So now his forearm is going to be coming over like this. So I can draw to his elbow, to his back of his forearm, to where his gloves are going to be. Okay? And so now, and you know, before I forget, I'm going to draw his shirt collar. I know I would forget that, so I wanted to do it now before I completely forgot. Okay, so now this hand is going to be kind of up like that. So again, bear with me. We're going to draw this part of the meat of the hand like this. Draw the back of it. And so again, I'm going to draw the digits. I'm going to draw 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I'm going to draw it again. That part is that one. And then connect it right there. So I'm going to do that again for the other fingers. I'm going to draw 1, 2, 3. And then draw it in. And again, you can't see the back of it, so you don't have to worry about that. So now, the fingers back behind it, you are not going to see as much. So I'm going to kind of draw like this. Okay? And the other fingers back behind those, so all I got to do is do that. And that's good enough. It should be in here, but it's getting too confusing for you, so I don't want to mix you up. So I'm going to draw the thumb like this. And there you go. There's that hand. And again, see, if you were just to draw it alone like that, let me try to round this out a little bit more, just to try to balance out the universe, it would look off, you know? It would be, you do that, it's like, well, yeah, it doesn't look, but in the overall picture, pretty darn good, right? All right, let's keep going. So now his shirt is just hanging down. I'm going to have it bent a little bit like that because I got his leg bent up. So it's going to be like this, hanging down, over in a little action pose. See how I got it a little whippy, kind of like that. You know, a little bit of movement is gonna make your drawing come alive. Okay, so again, I've got his legs kind of up, so I'm gonna draw the little these little straps first because they're over everything, and I need those to not have a line drawn through them. Okay. So I'm going to draw something like this, and that's the first strap. The second one's going to go over here. So now I can draw the other edges of it. And it's got like a triangle in the middle. That'll help us with connecting lines. Okay? So I'm going to do something like this. And this is what I was talking about, that extra piece of something. And so I don't know what it is, but again, I can use it to show movement. You know, to have some fun with it. And so now I can draw these other lines here. And again, they're kind of connected by squares and triangles, so we can actually draw the lines there. And I know where my leg is going to be, so that's why I can just have it floating like that. So now that I have that, I can actually draw his leg. So I'm going to draw the inside here like that. And because he's kind of hunched over, he's got creases in his legs, and so I can draw his leg down here like this. I'm following my sketch is what I'm doing, so I'm not just throwing lines anywhere. I know where I'm going with this. I'm going to go ahead and draw the rest of the leg. So I'm going to draw the calf down like this, like that. And I know his pant leg's got a few little creases in it. So I'll go ahead and draw some like that. And that's just to, you know, show that the pants are bent. Okay, let's go ahead and just finish it up and draw this foot here. So I'm going to draw looks like a sock almost, you know. because it's the top of his foot. And you can't really see his tread, but I'm going to draw a little something like that just to give us, you know, the look of his shoe. Okay? All right. And let's see. I think there's a little bit of detail, something like that. Not much. Just to show you something, okay? So let's draw the other leg over here. We're going to do the same thing. I'm going to draw that strap over this first because that's over everything. And so I'm going to kind of do something like this. And that's where it's going to be wrapped back around. Can't say that. There's that one. And I'm going to do that one again, that little piece of material. Like I said, I assume it's plastic. I assume it's a strap. So I'm just going to let it flow. And again, see how I can do movement with it, you know? So this one goes over here to that, which is on a square like that right there. Just going to go around his leg, and up under his shirt, just like that one. Okay, so you can't really see his leg because of this strap, so I don't have to worry about that. I'm just going to cheat and say that's behind that strap, okay? Okay, and there's the back of his leg to his calf, to the bottom of his pants, like this. He's got them skinny jeans on, so I'm just going to bring his leg up like this, and heck, we'll go ahead and do that. That way we'll show you some of the leg, right? So now we're just going to draw his shoe, which is kind of something like this. And again, it's almost like that where you're drawing a sock. You know, you can't really draw too much of it. Like that. Actually, this should have come in there like that. That's off. That's my fault. I'm so sorry. Let's do just a little bit of the tread to try to hide it. Maybe cover it up. Something like that. Okay, and see, this should have been more back like that. And here we go. Let's see if we can hide it like that. Yeah, that'll work. That'll work. We can hide our mistakes, as Mr. Adam Savage always says. Learn to, you know, work with your mistakes. Okay. And let's see. The last thing I think I'm going to do is, you know, I don't think I'm going to do. Okay, I'll do a couple of little pockets. That's all I'm going to do. It just looks too plain here. I know I'm going to take care of this with color, but it just looks too plain. So I'm just going to do this and that just to give it a little something extra. And then I'm going to take care of the rest with color. So that is Flare. So here is my colored version. You could do it however you like. I just thought I'd show you how I decided to color it. If you'd like to color it like this, you can always pause the video here and use the coloring techniques that I used, or you can just make it your own. Remember, this is how I draw. You draw how you draw. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more adventures of how I draw. Plus, don't forget to hit that notification button to be updated about each new video.